Good day, everyone. First and foremost, my apologies for my misleading thumbnail. All the YouTube experts claim you need a real flashy and catchy thumbnail to get views. And since my channel is absolutely struggling, I'm willing to try almost anything to get your attention. That said, let's dive headfirst into today's video. Hope you enjoy. So I'm in Worcester, Massachusetts, and we picked up this new ride. And if you know what it is, put it down in the comments. Has a radiator leak, runs a bit rough, brakes are super soft, and we're just going to jam it on the highway and head home about 40 minutes away. Wish me luck. All right, so we're about halfway home. Good part is we're still moving. The temperature thing stays, pegged almost, but I believe that's broken. It appears the gas gauge is working. The oil pressure just stays pegged the whole time. Speedometer works. I was amazed that this was a 91,000 mile car, and that's because the odometer has ceased to function. Clock doesn't work. Tachometer works. And there is intermittently a rattle coming from here, but hasn't seemed to affect anything thus far. So yeah, it's got a funky old car smell.
Smells of rich mahogany.
We're just in the slow lane. We're doing, 50 miles an hour. We're stuck behind this camper. Oh, they're getting off. Does have a front end shimmy over 60 to be expected. It does have a rear brake pulse, which again, for a car sitting over 2 years, to be expected. But as you can hear, very quiet, and actually the motor is very smooth. I did notice when leaving, first to second was a pretty hard shift, but again, it has been sitting for over 2 years, so hopefully it'll come back around. All right, again, I don't have my phone holder, so I'm just going to put you down, and we'll resume if anything interesting happens or when we make it home. Wish me luck. We made it back without incident. It's going to be a great day.
Wow, what a great day.
I want to thank Gordon for being so accommodating and working with me on this vehicle and being so forthright and informative. Thanks again. As far as instrument cluster, obviously the temp gauge was not working, but we never overheated. Fuel gauge, I'm still on the fence about. It didn't move much. It was 40 minutes. I'm not sure how many miles. I didn't look at the old phone. Oil pressure just stays pegged the whole time. Clock, as you can see, does actually work, and that is amazing. Odometer doesn't work, but when I looked at the title, it was purchased in 2015 with 77,000 miles on it. The previous owner claimed that it was his mother-in-law's car, and she just drove it 5 miles to work. That was right up the road from him. So I'm hoping that mileage isn't too far off. I don't think it is. So I guess next, oh, did you guess what it was? If you guessed 1993 Mercedes 190, you're a genius. You're my hero.
You're my hero. Yeah.
I guess next step is let's do what everyone else does and do a walk around, and let's check this thing out. So as far as interior goes, 9 out of 10. We'll start with the doors. What's this thing do? Look at that. Never seen that before. The dash, the seat, no rips in the seat. Not a single crack that I've seen thus far in the dashboard. Steering wheel, it's got a cover on it, and it is welded on there, but in good shape. Knee bolster, perfect. Needs a good scrubbing, but again, just look at the rug. There's no wear in it. It has a very period correct phone holder. The rear view mirror is no longer working. What are these things? I don't know what any of these buttons do. I've never owned a Mercedes in my life, but more on that in a minute. I have no idea what all these buttons do. What are these things? The radio unfortunately needs the code. We're gonna try and figure out how to get that. I think we can pop the radio, get some numbers off the back, and call a dealership. Not sure, but we'll figure that out later. What is this thing over here? Is that a dim city? I don't know what that is. Is that a radar detector? Looks like it's got, I don't know. We'll figure it out. If you know what that is, let me know. What in the? Is that how you put cassettes in this thing? Does this have like a multi-cassette player? It's been a while since I've seen a cassette. Definitely my era. Look at that. Well, I don't even know if I have anything that plays a cassette anymore, but we're gonna have to. They're all kind of blanks. We'll have to find out what's on these. How cool is that? Is this just a storage holder, or does this actually play the tape? What do we got? Well, I can't pronounce the first word, but it's Eurostar Super Quality Dolby System. Huh. Very interesting. Oh, that's neat. So if it's red, it's got something in it. Not red, nothing in it.
I'm the captain. My son is bored.
Well, you just learn something new every day. Let's look inside the glove box. What do you got? What do we got here? Looks like some old school fuses. Price chopper. More fuses. Ziploc bag. We got this googly eye tassel. That's definitely staying. Is this the actual manual in here? Do we have, well, we got the AM/FM stereo radio with cassette player and CD capability. We got the radio manual, but I don't see, we don't have the actual car manual. There's some receipts in here, but I'm not going to go through that in respect for the previous owner, in case their names and addresses are on there. Some more fuses. Takes a weird fuse, huh? I don't know what that's called. If you know what kind of fuse that is, let me know in the comments. That's the glove box. Look at passenger side seat. Nothing. No tears. Headliner. It's got a sunroof, which I'll never touch because, you know, we don't want it to leak. Look at the headliner. Perfect. Let's check out the back seat. We got a free pillow, so that might help on the lower spine. So very appreciative of that. What's in the back here? Oh, cool. We got some price chopper hats. Well, this car is just the gift that keeps on giving.
Uh-oh.
Whoa.
Found a treasure trove.
But look at the interior of this car. Other than the rear view mirror, it's on, what, 9.5 out of 10? And we already know about the rear view. What else you got? What do you got? We got some weird little doll figurine. Got a box cutter with razor blade. That's a keeper. ashtray that's never been used. Very period correct. I didn't check, is this an ashtray over here? Ashtray that's brand new, never been used. Does the lighter work? What does this button do? Oh, look at that. It pops the ashtray out. Let me do it again. This button pops the ashtray out so you can empty it. How neat is that?
This is so luxurious.
Oop, the lighter's in the lighter appears to be in the already pushed down, so I'm going to say lighter doesn't work. Get your window functions down here. Not sure what that button does. Not going to touch it right now. We got some kind of, sorry about the glare. Get you in over here. We got some kind of switch here, like a dimmer. Not sure what that does. Interior is 9.5 out of 10. It's amazing for 31-year-old car. All right, let's take a look at the outside. And this is one of the reasons I bought the car. One of the many reasons. I didn't know about the interior. This is a New England car. We'll start at the front. Just walk with me and hook your eyes on this.
Drink it in.
Are you seeing what I'm seeing? Zero rot. Obviously, I don't know what's behind these plastic panels, but no rust. I did look at the rear tires and figured they were, I know it's upside down, but focus. It doesn't want to focus. Okay. So that would be the 50th week of 2021. So these tires are new-ish. I looked at those. I did not look at the fronts. The fronts, this one, looks like it's the 9th week of 2015. So we'll check the other side. Focus. We got some faded paint, to be expected. We got this cracked lens. I don't know what's under here. Is there a fog light under here? I haven't figured that out yet, but that's an instant fail in Massachusetts, so that'll have to be replaced. Super duper oxidized on those lenses there. Passenger side. We have a tiny bit of surface rust on passenger front fender. It looks like the other tire is the 15th week of 2015. These are some Fusion Touring. But again, focus is not working with me today. Look at, no rust, zero. Got some paint fade on the roof, to be expected from the sun. The rears are Goodyear Reliance. And this one is, focus, the 51st week of 2021. So relatively new tires in the rear. I got a clip missing there, not a big deal, but look, again, there's no rust, there's no rot. This is a 31-year-old car in New England. I asked him about it and he said previous owner kept it in a barn, and I'm assuming they kept it in their garage. But yeah, just, there's no rot on the thing. Let's look in the trunk. I don't know where that goes in the interior somewhere. Looks like part of the seat. This is all plastic, so you can't really see underneath what's going on. I'm assuming the way the rest of the car is, it's probably fine. What do you got here? Is this a Mercedes toolkit? Let's see. It says writing on it. Mercedes. Look at that. It has the original Mercedes toolkit in the back here. That's got to earn some neat points. What's in here? Oh, that must be the CD player with the CD capability. Sorry about the focus. I don't know what's going on today. Let's see what's under here. Full-size spare. Pirelli. Tubeless. Flat. It's got the Mercedes jack. Focus. See if we can see a date code on this old Pirelli. Oh, I think it's just... How do you get it out of here? Don't know. I think it's just a tire, no rim. The tire's pretty dirty. I don't see a date code quite yet. Maybe we'll pull that out later and figure out what's going on there. But pretty cool with the original toolkit. We'll have to go through that. Maybe we'll go through that later. Sure. All right, let's check out under the hood. It's been taped and shimmed up with some wooden blocks and pieces of wood. So I give A+ for effort. See if we can figure out where the hood release is. It's got an alarm system with no key. That's fine. Hood release. Is that it there? Sure. It's got a two-pronged door switch system. What's that all about? No idea. Okay, let's open the hood. Obviously, focus is going to be a big issue today.
You know, I smashed my phone a couple of years ago too with a hand.
So my knowledge on this car is absolute zero. I've never owned a Mercedes in my life, and I know nothing about them. All I know is it looks like it's a 4-cylinder engine, rear wheel drive, and that's about it. We knew it had a coolant leak. It's in the super common focus plastic to metal point where they join. Super common in that area for them to fail. Someone attempted putting some, again, we'll just call it A for effort.
Gold star for you.
But yeah, that's, you can see, it's quite obvious to the most casual observer. That's where the radiator was leaking, and as we drove it, it kind of, you know, made its way back here in the car. I did notice something that I'm going to show you now, is that we got coolant. See that staining? Somehow coolant's making it back to where this wheel well is. I'm not sure how it's blowing that far back and getting to that point. That makes me a bit nervous. But we'll address that issue when we get to it. Oh, the focus is gonna kill me today. But yeah, I don't even know how many liters this thing is. Focus. It's got air conditioning. It's got a sticker there. Oh, this coolant really kind of got everywhere. Not sure. This must be power steering. Get some sort of fancy ABS system. No idea what that is. Just a ginormous air filter housing. Working, the ignition system. No idea. I don't see any other major leaks. Someone's obviously replaced this upper hose. Vehicle control information. I don't know what any of these codes mean. 2.3. It's a 2.3 coolant. We'll have to use the fancy European, I think it's pink. G4, I think it's called, because it's aluminum. It's an aluminum engine. Is it all aluminum? Is it aluminum head or aluminum everything? I'm going to say, you can't really see it, but I think it's aluminum everything. We got to do some research on this, is what I'm getting at. There's codes and numbers everywhere, which is good. There's the fuses. There's the fuse panel. Those weird fuses that I've never seen or used in my life. But yeah, it's clean and it's complete and it's all there. Some of you may be cringing. Like, what are you doing? Why are you buying a 1993 Mercedes? And that's a great question.
That's a bingo.
One is because I needed an everyday vehicle to kind of drive around and get me to where I want to go. And I've never owned a Mercedes, so I said it might be kind of neat to learn something new, which I love to do. That rhymes, and you know it rhymes.
Well, that rhymes, Marge, and you know it rhymes. Admit it.
So yeah, I didn't, and I thought I could make some content on it. That was the third biggest thing. I think some people will find this interesting because, and if I'm correct, and I haven't done my research yet, but I believe the Mercedes 190 is the base for one of their rally cars. I think that's what it was based on. It was one of these models. And I'm going to put, we're going to talk about that as soon as I find out about it, do some research. And I thought that would be kind of neat for the channel. I think variety is a spice of life, and I wanted something different. I was actually going for a BMW 740iL 4.4 liter V8. I've had 3 BMWs in my past, and I'm kind of familiar with them. Never owned a V8 one, but I thought that would have been pretty cool for the channel. I just didn't think a Toyota Corolla or a Honda Accord was going to cut it. It would have been the right choice, the correct choice, the most reliable choice, but to me, I can't do boring, and I can't do expensive. So when I saw this come up for sale on Marketplace, and I saw the body, I had to go check it out. And Marketplace has become uber frustrating with just trying to get people to contact you back, respond to your messages. I don't know what's wrong with people. I don't know how you can list stuff. That's been my biggest problem, is just getting people to respond. You got this car for sale, and I'm saying, I'm interested, come take a look at it, or what's wrong with it? They'll say, oh, it needs work. And then you say, well, what does it specifically need? And then they never respond to you. And I know there's a lot of scammers out there, and it's a sad state of affairs, but
Most people suck.
I'll stop rambling. And anyway, this was actually the first car I went and looked at, and I literally popped the hood, checked the oil, looked at the tires, looked at the day code on funny enough, just the rear tires. I assumed it had all 4 when I checked the one, but you know what assume means. And topped off the coolant because we knew it had a leak, and jammed it on the highway and drove it home 40 minutes. And I'm a nervous Nelly to begin with. So it was quite nerve-wracking driving this, a strange vehicle that you've never been in, that you've never owned, and just putting it on the highway and seeing if it'll make it. And it did. And it did pretty good for a car that has 2-year-old gas in it and has been sitting for 2 years. And yeah, enough said. I'll bring you back in when we decide our next move. In my 30 seconds of research on our 93 Mercedes-Benz 190E, I found out that this car, our 2.3 liter, makes a whopping 130 horsepower at 5,100 RPM. 146 foot-pounds of torque, I believe at 3,500 RPM, and a 0 to 60 in a blistering 10.8 seconds.
I don't keep things at a snail's pace.
In my next 30 seconds of research, I found that the 190 was introduced in 1982, dubbed the Baby Benz, included the 190 and 190E. In 83, there was a 190D, D for diesel. The sporty 16-valve 190E 2.316 and its successors were successful in sales and motorsports from 84 onwards. The 190E 2.316 set 3 long-distance driving world records on the Nardo test track in southern Italy in 83. And the 1991 190E 2.516 Evo 2 took the top 3 places in the DTM in 92. In 93, I believe it was a runner-up. There's a quick little background history on the Mercedes 190 in my total of 60 seconds of research. As you can see, the car is pretty filthy. I would say 90% of it's pollen. So yeah, let's give it a bath. Actually, before we give it a bath, let's give the car a blowjob.
I remember when I had my first beer.
Insert stupid jokes here. Let's do under the trunk. And let's also do under the hood. Because we got stuff everywhere. I don't have a good vacuum with a nice crevice tool, so we'll just blow the shit everywhere. With tree renderings. And also all this insulation from the hood, which is just, I already played with it. Watch. Yeah, it's done. At some point we'll probably rip it down, but I don't want to touch it right now. Also, that piece of insulated electronic doodabber, you see that down there? If you know what that is, let me know. It's next to the air dryer on the driver's side front. It's some kind of electrical block, but it's disintegrating. So if you know what that is, let me know. It's just amazing that just this thing's so original and so complete. I know nothing about it, but I see stuff like that. Original clips there. I'm assuming that's the old data connector for 1993, I would imagine. But it's just an amazingly original, complete car. And I find that very, very neat and cool. Whatever adjective you'd like to use. the idea. We just did a real quick wash. It wasn't that bad, so you didn't even see the whole thing. And it's a mirror finish. Look at that. Amazing, right? Wow, that's really something. Well, that side's still wet. Let's go to the other side. Trunk's still wet. This side's fairly dry. You can see we missed some of that black stuff that grows by your fuel door. If you know what that is, if that's just some kind of mold that likes fuel or fuel vapors, or something gets, you know, evaporated out of there and something sticks to it, let me know what it is. I haven't looked it up and I don't know what it is. Our wheels, I did a half-ass job on those, but you can see we have plenty of dings and chips and scrapes. I didn't show before. Someone got, you know, this car was special to somebody. They got their initials put in on the door. That's when you know you're somebody. Is that a bubble? Do I see my first rust bubble on this thing? This is above. The sun is blinding me. Well, there it is. We do. We have a rust bubble or bubbleage. That's a shame. Anywho, looking better. I would, you know, do the polish and wax thing. Not on the hood and roof, but on the paint that's still polishable and waxable. Are those words? I don't know. But we don't have a lot of shade here. And I got away for a cloudy day. So we'll do that some other time. Can you see my streak marks there? Whoops. Actually, this, I mean, as you're looking through the camera, that looks amazing, right? Obviously, we got scratches galore, but distance is this thing's best friend. And this side is all now dry, and this is by far the better side. Pretty shiny. One thing I noticed, and I don't, not knowing these cars, is there's no 190E badge back here. Was it a sticker and it just fell off? But you can't even see like where it might have gone. You still got the VIN number there where the plate was. There's nothing that tells me that this was resprayed at any time. I could be wrong. Should this have had a 190E badge in the back and it just kind of fell off and they polished out the, you know, the leave behind where a sticker would go. I don't know. If you know, let me know. But I thought that was interesting. It's the next day after washing, and as you can see, the car is completely covered in pollen again. Perfect. Half-ass phase 1 cleaning for YouTube content complete. It's cleaning up relatively nice, as you can see. Obviously it wasn't that dirty to begin with, but yeah. The problem I'm having is there's very little shade in my part of the driveway here, and unfortunately the only shade is under this tree, and as you can see, the petals are all falling off, and it's very windy today, so I'm having to fight that, which is par for the course. So yeah, finish getting this trunk cleaned out, we'll go from there. This is what was in the car's music library, what it had to offer. We got some ABBA, Celine Dion, a Man of La Mancha, no idea. We got some Celtic harp, some Cher, and some blank cassettes, which I don't know what's on them. There's a CD player, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 disc holder, sure. Like I said before, this is the car that really just keeps on giving. Not my musical taste, but it might be yours. This is everything that was in the Mercedes toolkit. So that's neat. All right, now that we peeled a layer of filth off it, we need to make a parts list. So we know that it needs a radiator, and a side view mirror, and a rear view mirror, and fog light lenses. But what we don't know is the brakes. Brakes are super soft, so let's peel these tires off and see what's going on. Upon further inspection, I got to remove this pan to be able to have some place to put the jack. I can get the front ones, but the gun won't fit under the back ones. So I guess, well, I don't know if you can see it back there. Probably not. That rubber for the unibody or whatever this thing is. Yeah, so I'll have to jack up the sides to be able to remove this pan, to be able to jack the front up, get it on some stands. Good news is I only had to jack up one side of the car to get this out. 4 little screw type bolts, and they came out easy, and yeah, yuck. Where am I going? Right here? Fun fact about these Toys R Us looking jack stands. I bought these when I was 16 or 17 years old. Still got them. I'm 49 now. Alright, are you ready to see what's behind door number 1, 2, 3, and 4? If so, please stay tuned to the next video when we take it from there. As always, thanks for watching. Hope to see you on the next one.
I'll be back.